they'll never get to see your own super yacht. Whatever we've done or wherever we've been, we're still here. We're still here. Still here.
Hey guys. Welcome to Let's Go Live, everyone. This is today's guest singing right now. He's going to kill me for playing this song, by the way, because it is a few years old. But I love it, and I think it really sets the tone for today's show. How are you guys doing? Happy Saturday. Hey, everyone. Hi, Jake. Hi, Dave. Diane. Nice to see you. B. Mace. Now, guys, before I introduce tonight's guest, I do want to just say that the show is dedicated to my late great friend, Andre Harrell, this evening. Of course, the industry titan. It would have been his birthday today. And Andre, before he passed away, about 10 days before he passed away, he gave me the advice to do my own Instagram live show. And a few days later, I launched it. So that's why we're here. We love you, Dre. Now on to tonight's guest, Hobbie Stuart from the UK. He's a YouTube sensation. He is a singer-songwriter. He's an entrepreneur as well. He rose to fame on YouTube by posting cover versions of all of our favorite songs. Oh, Hobbie's here, yeah. So this is his first Instagram live. And sorry for playing the old song, Hobbie. You've got lots of great new ones as well. Let's bring up Hobbie right now. Let's see if we can find him right now. Here he is. Let me turn this down in the meantime. Okay. Hobbie!
Sharon, what's going on? You're right. Wait there, wait there. I need to put some earphones on.
Oh, okay. Sure. By the way, guys, my hair is like, I can feel the humidity. It's going to be massive by the time this show is over. Hobbie, can you hear me?
Oh, wait there. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Don't kill me for playing the old song.
Oh, that tune is so dead.
I love that song. I still love that song.
But
anyway, you've got lots of...
You're sweet. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
it's nice to say
awesome.
that, but that song cringes me out.
Why?
I don't know. It's just a different time, I guess. A little bit of trivia. That was the only song that I released on my first ever record deal, and I did not want to release that. I asked.
Really, you weren't into it. So
No,
the label pushed you to release it?
Yeah, they pushed me to release it because they wanted to go down the One Extra route. And that was kind of the obvious vibe for it, because it was the only song that I had was like really urban. Then I got Gets on it.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it because I didn't, it was a bit random. It doesn't really sit me anywhere. It's not like a dance track, and it wasn't kind of an emotional track. It was a genre that was a bit of a non-genre. So I was like, no, I don't release it. And they released it, and shock, it didn't really do much. And then and then they weren't too happy with me because it didn't do much. I was like, well, I told you it wouldn't do very well. But anyway, that was that. It was a long time ago.
It has a lot of views on YouTube, though.
Yeah, it does.
I'm a fan. But you have many songs since then that have been really incredible. But first, let's talk about this. You're live from the UK right now, so you're our first guest. We've had a couple of UK people on the show, but you're our first celebrity live from the UK. Where are you? You're a Brighton boy. Is that where you are right now?
Yeah. I'm in London.
Okay.
I'm a Brighton boy. I moved to London about 6-7 years ago. North London, basically. Actually, no, I'm not going to say my exact location. But
don't give out the address, Hobbie. It's not a good idea.
Yeah, it's really nice around here, and I'm very happy. And you're in New York, right, Sharon?
I'm in New York. I'm in Brooklyn right now. Actually, yeah, I saw you posted a picture earlier, and you had the London Underground behind you, so that will make sense.
Yeah. How? So when did you move to the States?
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. It's been well over 10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
And you just loved it so much that you stayed?
I did. Yeah, I came here initially for university, and then I just fell in love with New York and ended up staying. Yeah. So, yeah, you've come here before, right? You've been to New York?
No, I've been to LA.
Oh, okay.
A few times.
Did you like LA?
Place. Yeah, it was a while back, and it was a strange time for me. I would just go there for a writing trip, basically. So all I did, I was just kind of, it was before I was 21, so I couldn't even drink or go out or anything. So I was just
Oh
at my
yeah,
hotel.
because they're
I was
way
at,
behind us when it comes to the
yeah,
age limit, aren't they?
yeah, for real.
Of course,
So
it's 18 for us in the UK.
yeah, so I just, I didn't really get up too much. All I did, I was just kind of in the studio or like sitting in my hotel and at my swimming pool. It was
Oh.
you know when you're at a hotel for ages and it kind of feels like you're in some kind of limbo. You know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
because you're not home, so you're sort of thrown off a little bit. You
it
wake
was
up in the
bizarre.
morning, it's sort of like, where am I?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
forget where you are. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was cool though. It was a nice time. It was a nice
Yeah,
time.
yeah. You'd like
What's
New York. I mean, Brits love New York anyway, in general. So
mm.
I think you'd like it over here. So Hobby, tell me. So people refer to you as a YouTube sensation, right? Do you feel like you're sort of past that now at this point? Do you refer to yourself as more of a singer-songwriter? Do
Yeah,
you still consider yourself a YouTube star?
no, not at all. I kind of stopped doing YouTube a few years back. Really, because that's how I came about in it. So I'm proud of where I came from, and I did YouTube covers. I got lots of views, whatever. Got lots of
Yeah.
a big following and stuff. But I kind of just got really bored of doing covers on YouTube, and I just stopped. And then I got into vlogs, and I was a vlogger for a little while, and then I got really bored of that, and then YouTube kind of instigated some more algorithms, so it made it harder to kind of get the same exposure that I once did when I was doing less videos. Because these days,
Yeah.
they're all about wanting you to post as much as you can, like and every day or 3 times a week,
Yeah.
whatever. And I'm just not that guy, Sharon. I can't do things with such consistency, and I kind of just,
Yeah.
I
Especially
kind
when
of,
you have to be creative. Like, you've got to be in the right
yeah,
mindset. You can't just churn it out, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I just wasn't really enjoying the content that I was doing, and then kind of I went through some stuff in my life. Like it was a long story, but got someone pregnant. Turns out she wasn't pregnant. I don't know if you did any
I
research on me,
did my
you would have
research. Don't
yeah
worry. That
you would have seen it
question's
on Google,
coming.
wouldn't it? Yeah. So
Don't
like
get in too deep into it yet, but
yeah,
that question's coming.
so
Yeah.
that kind of happened, and because I had done a few videos, kind of vlog style videos, like I'm gonna be a father or whatever, and
Yeah.
then obviously I discovered it wasn't true at all. So then I kind of took a step back for like basically the whole of 2018. I basically didn't really post anything at all, and
Yeah.
then I just haven't wanted to get back into YouTube since that. Really, I kind of just wanted to write my own material and try and build something that I'm proud of, and not just
Yeah.
doing something for the sake of it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting what you said about the algorithm, because Facebook and Instagram do the same thing,
Yeah,
right? You don't
yeah.
have the same reach that you used to have. People don't really like to talk about it, but that's something that's very real and going on, right? Yeah.
It's just how it is in today's social media. If you've got a following, they don't see you as like they don't differentiate between someone like myself who's an artist and I'm independent, where I haven't got money to put behind like sponsored posts or something, where but then
Yeah.
like they don't differentiate between someone like me or any other artist and then a brand that's got
Yeah.
money for marketing. So
They
what
just look
happens?
at numbers
Yeah,
basically, and it's a
exactly. So you're like,
numbers
oh,
game.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you've got like 100,000 followers, then your post isn't gonna get to nowhere near as many people that you have actually following you, and that's just how it is, and it's something that
Yeah.
creators have got to deal with. But it can be quite deflating once it all kind of starts happening, and you see your kind of algorithm isn't doing, like what it used to, and you just kind of
Yeah.
get a bit I guess it's a bit uninspiring, really. Like when
Yeah.
for example, I could work on like a video for days and days, a song for days, video for days, or whatever, and then I post it and it doesn't go out to the people that actually follow me. It goes out to like 10%,
Yeah.
and I kind
It's
of
tough. It's not fair. It's not fair at all.
yeah,
Especially because
yeah,
you did all that work building up the following in the first place. So you have every right to be able to reach your following. And they don't make it obvious that this is what they're doing. It's kind of a,
no, them man just blag it like nothing's happening. Creators will hit
yeah.
them up like, oh yeah, what's going on? Like, oh no, nothing. It's all right. You just keep doing your thing. It's like, well, actually, it's kind of it's ultimately it's the kind of smaller to medium level creators that kind of get stung the most, because
Yeah.
they try and do is they kind of try and push out more premium content.
Yeah.
But you know, whatever. I'm not complaining. It's just how it is, and it was kind of one of the factors that led me to kind of just not be as enthused when thinking about making YouTube content and things like that. You know what I
No,
mean?
totally understandable. Yeah. You
Yeah.
just mentioned being an independent artist. You used to be signed to Sony. You're independent now. Tell me a bit about the pros and cons of sort of doing it yourself versus being with a major, which you mentioned it earlier. They pushed you to release a song you didn't really want to put out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being with a major has, you know, quite a lot of ups. It's exciting. Like I was 21 when I signed that deal, and I got loads of money, and I was sick, and I was like living with my boys who were students. So obviously,
Yeah.
I was kind of just like living a bit of a student's life without being a student and just having loads of money. So that was really
Yeah.
cool. But like that's from like a superficial point of view. But from an artistic point of view, it was amazing because you know, they can open a lot of doors for you really quickly, like getting into sessions with really big producers, big writers. I learned a lot from the people that I worked with. But really the issue for me when I went into that deal was that I didn't truly know myself as an artist and as a person as well. I wasn't ready to go into something like that, and I didn't have not only the confidence in myself as a person, but as an artist as well.
Yeah.
And
You were
so
young. What were you, 21 at the time?
yeah,
Or yeah.
yeah, I was 20 when I first started I kind of 20 or 21, but
Okay.
I had only really been doing music seriously for a year, basically. I started my YouTube channel when I was 19. I had it going for 6 months, and within 6 months I signed my first deal. And
Yeah.
I had only
That's
written
awesome.
like one song. So I didn't really know what I was doing. I literally started that YouTube channel to just get some views and get some fans and try
Yeah.
and be a pop star, but I didn't really know what that meant. And I really wasn't very good. So
What do you mean
it
you
was
weren't good?
I mean I wasn't good in the way that my singing wasn't very good and my writing wasn't very good. So literally I just wasn't very good. I wasn't good enough to be truly get to where I wanted to be at that time.
Mm.
So although an amazing time, it came too early for me. And when I say early, I mean early for myself, like not in terms of my age, because obviously there's loads of young pop singers like Shawn
Yeah.
Mendes or Billie Eilish, and they get into it. Someone like Billie Eilish, for example, or whoever, like, you know, not only are they better than me or whatever, but they got into it much earlier, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I really started getting into music quite late. So in terms of that, like I said, it just came too early for me. And then it was, yeah, like they just did things. They had the money, so they had the power.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And you didn't have the
yeah,
power in the
exactly.
same way.
And
Yeah.
I didn't really have the license to truly do what I wanted to do. And
Mm.
half the time I didn't even know what I wanted to do. So it was a weird time that I actually can't really remember that well. It was
Yeah.
like, it seems like a while ago, and even though it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
But you know, then when you're independent, you can do everything that you want to do. The only constraints you really have are financial,
Yeah.
which is obviously, you know, that's a pretty serious constraint at the same time. But it is nice to just do exactly what you want to do and make the music that you want to do and put out the music that you want to put out.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And you've got your own
Hmm.
platforms, and
Yeah,
that's how
yeah.
you're able to do it. So Hobbie, you know what time it is, right?
Is it the 10 question time?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is. You're
But wait, so
good.
I want wait, Sharon. I wanted to ask you a few questions. So because I
Uh-oh.
found you on HQ Trivia, right?
Oh, is that how
Which
you
was
found me
yeah,
initially?
yeah, which was
Okay. Okay.
it was a
Yeah.
sick app. It was a really cool app, right? At the time, I don't know,
Yeah.
because you're not doing stuff with them
I'm
anymore, are
not
you?
doing HQ anymore. No, I did a special charity game for them recently for Oxfam.
Mm.
But yeah, we launched in the UK and we were in the UK for about a year and then it ended. But yeah, it got really big in the UK. Not quite as big as the US. Obviously, the US is a much bigger market, but
Yeah, yeah,
fun times, definitely fun times. And the app is still around. And a lot of people still play, about 100,000 people a day still play. But, you know, I was there for a long time. I was there for a couple of years. So,
yeah.
yeah.
And then what happened? You left, like, or is that kind of like
Yeah,
you left?
yeah,
You just wanted to
I
move on to
left,
something
and
else.
yeah, I mean, I work on other things now, so I this is not supposed to be about me, by the way. Oh, hi Heather, how you doing? But yeah, there are other shows that I work on right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'd still go back and like do a special show for HQ like I did a couple of months ago, but you know,
Yeah. And
there's
what
other
show?
stuff going on too.
What are you working on at the moment? That you really love and you're really
I see
excited
what
about?
you're doing, Hobbie. You are trying to. You're nervous about these 10 and 10
No,
questions.
I'm not. No,
Yes,
I'm
you
not
are.
nervous
You're
about
trying to.
anything.
You're trying to buy yourself time. So I host a show for People magazine, which is a show on the royal family. And then I work with BBC America when there are red carpets to cover. I cover a lot of red carpets for them.
Right,
And then
yeah.
I do the Wendy Williams show quite often as well. And then I do a lot of my own stuff. But your fans are going to be bored hearing about me. But yeah, I do a lot of my own stuff. Like I work on creating shows, developing it and creating shows. And I have a business partner and we work together on that stuff. But here's my
that's so
question for
cool.
you. Are you
Okay.
ready?
All
The
right,
first
let's
one.
get it.
It's not
Wait
that
there.
bad. It's not that bad.
But-
This one's an easy one. Okay, so I ask everyone this. It's the icebreaker, right? It's complete the sentence. I give the best blank.
Is that meant to be suggestive? It was like.
It's meant to be whatever you make it, Hobbie. Whatever you make it.
All right, okay. Well, I'm gonna say.
No one's taken the bait. Yes,
taken the
but
bait.
maybe you're the first.
No, I do well want to say something that rhymes with bed, but I'm not going to because I'm not a dickhead, and I'm gonna say
This
something.
is a family show, Hobbie. This is a family show. No, just kidding.
Yeah,
It's late there. It's past 10 o'clock. You know how it gets in Britain after 10 o'clock?
After 9, mate, shit gets real serious after
It
9.
does. It gets crazy and wild.
After 10 now, there's a curfew now, isn't it? Have you heard about the UK?
Oh, is it?
It's
What's
with-
going on? There's
yeah,
a new curfew.
Yeah, so they instated the curfew at 10 now, which means that restaurants and everywhere has to shut at 10.
Wow.
Which
I
is
didn't
like,
know
it seems like, I mean, it is, I was about to say it seems like a bad idea. I'll tell you what, it is a bad idea. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
it's kind of a mess. Because also what
Yeah.
happens now is you go somewhere like Oxford Circus, right?
that.
You go there at 10 o'clock, everywhere's shutting at the same time. So it's created another rush hour.
Which everyone's jammed together again.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, oh,
Yeah.
man, like, it's a proper mess of it. Anyway, let's not get political. So I will not say what I was thinking about saying.
But I think we can
I-
guess what that was. But
I'm gonna
and the
say
PG-13 version is.
I'm gonna say I give the best emotional support.
Do you?
Yeah, has anyone ever said that before on the show?
Never.
I'm
I've
super
heard
unique.
best advice, but not best emotional support. So who do you give that to?
Oh, my friends. And
Okay.
sometimes not even my friends, you know. Sometimes just you meet someone, you chat to them, and I for some reason people seem to tell me some things that are quite personal, and I think that I always deal well with in those situations, and I think that's one of my favorite things about myself.
Okay. So you're like a confidant. People can trust
Yeah.
you and open up to you about.
Yeah,
It's a no judgment zone when it comes to.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I don't judge. Yeah, so I think that's my real answer.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think
So
so too.
question number 2. This is interesting. So what are your top 3 qualities that have helped you get ahead in life? And then I'm going to ask you your worst 3 traits that you got to work on. The top 3
Worst 3
qualities,
traits.
first of all.
Top 3 qualities. Okay. First of all, I just want to say because I see a couple comments here. I want to say thank you to Charlotte. I want to say shout out to my boy Rodrigo. Fala, cara, beleza, tudo bem? Feliz que você está aqui. I want to say shout out to my boy Mitchell. Shout out to Jemmy. I'm just giving a few shout outs, Sharon. Is that okay?
Yeah, no,
I see,
of course.
I see some people saying some things, and Annie Platter.
I saw somebody saying that they loved your vlogs.
My
they
vlogs.
were really into your
Yeah,
vlogs.
I think that was Hobbie's Angel.
Okay.
Shout out Hobbie's Angel.
Yeah, you got your fans on here.
Yeah, it's nice. Thanks, Jemmy. Anyway, right. Sorry, Sharon. So my three best qualities.
Yeah, 3 best qualities that have helped you get ahead.
Oh, mate, my phone keeps slipping. It's done my nut. Okay, 3 best qualities. I would say it's I think I'm personable.
Yeah. I would agree with that from
thanks, Sharon.
this short interaction we've had so far.
I think that I am confident. I guess that's helped.
Yeah.
And okay, third, personable, confident, and good-hearted.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Good-hearted.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got a
yeah,
kind heart.
yeah.
Somebody said, okay, Jemmy's saying talented, and somebody else said genuine. You do come across as
Genuine.
very genuine because I've watched some of the other interviews that you've done, and like you sort of bear it all,
Oh,
don't
really?
you? Like you don't hold back.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I like that.
Yeah, yeah. I
You're
guess so.
real.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks, Sharon. Thanks, guys. Yeah, it's funny. I'm just bigging myself up for like the last 5 minutes, but
You
yeah,
have to. You have to.
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
funny because in America, like that's what you have to do to get ahead. You have to
You have to
give
big
yourself
yourself up.
you have to, yeah. And if you
Mm.
go over to the UK with that same kind of attitude, sometimes people look at you like,
You
well, how conceited are you?
right?
But
Yeah, I
you
see.
have to be like that. You go into meetings over here in the US, and you've got to be, ready to list your accomplishments. I've done this, I've done that, I can do this,
Yeah,
which isn't
yeah,
always taken the right way in the UK.
yeah. In the UK, like people want to do things more subtle in it, and everyone's kind
Yeah.
of you're hinting at everything, and you're like it's all about the
Yeah.
nuance, which is
Hoping
kind of
they'll
get
do their research and
yeah,
find out
exactly,
themselves.
exactly. And get tiptoeing. People England, people tiptoe around things too much. It's
Yeah.
a bit annoying, So in some ways, I think that's quite cool how Americans just say whatever the fuck they want to
I do too. I do
say.
too. Yeah. Yeah. You have to know how to sell yourself over here. All right.
Yeah.
So what are the three worst traits that you're still working on, or maybe you're not working on them?
Okay, for my three worst traits, one of them is my punctuality.
Really? Are you late all the
Uh,
time?
yeah, I'm just late for everything. Yeah, my friends, they really don't appreciate it one little bit.
You weren't late
And
for this though, thank
no, I
goodness.
wasn't late for this. I wasn't late for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, my punctuality, quite scatty
Yeah.
for
Because your
American.
mind's all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's quite a UK slang in it, but
Yeah. Like
scatty would.
scatterbrained, right? That's yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is that a real word? Like,
Yeah.
is that a term that Americans
Scatterbrained
would
is a real
understand too?
phrase. Scatty is more of like the slang version of it.
Yeah, just a bit
Yeah.
all over the place, really, mentally, and yeah, losing things and forgetting things, whatever. So yeah, I'd say I'm scatty. My punctuality and
I feel like creatives often are a bit scatty because, you guys are just, you think on a different level.
hmm, yeah, it's a nice way to think about that, and
So
it's a nice
you're
excuse.
not always the most practical, but like you're up
Yeah,
here with your thinking. That's
yeah,
what I
yeah,
found with a lot of creatives.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. There's your excuse. So.
There's that's a real good excuse. And
And what's the third
last
one?
third one, I would say, oh mate, I'm an idiot. It was so easy to think about good things about myself, and I'm looking
Maybe
like a
there isn't
dick.
a third one. Maybe.
No, the third one would be wait, no, there's so many. What can't I think of any? Okay, the third one will be
Do you have like a bad habit?
I'm like excessively hygienic with my hands, which is obviously quite good at Corona times.
Yeah.
But it's annoying for myself. Like, I mean, nowadays it's fine, but like I can't have anything on my hands. I have to wash my hands all the time. It pisses me off.
Okay. Okay.
I can't be comfortable.
I hope you
Um,
lotion them as well because they can get quite dry with all that washing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I lotion them. I lotion them.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. So
no, do you
there's
know
your
what, Sharon?
three. Unless you had
Yeah.
another one that you wanted to throw in there.
No, I just actually can't think of anything on the spot. This is one of those things where, like, after the call, I'm going to be able to think of like 20 things I don't like about myself.
Well,
You
you
know
gave
what I
us
mean?
three. You gave us
Yeah,
three.
yeah.
Those are good. Those are good. All right. So question number 3. What did your last relationship or maybe current relationship, if you're in one right now, teach you? Like what's the biggest lesson you learned either from your last or current situation?
Oh, that's a good question.
Mm.
That's actually a sick question. Now,
You've never been asked that before, have you?
no, I mean, I've thought about it
Yeah.
because I'm in a relationship, and
Yeah.
it's been one of the best things that's ever happened to me really in my life.
Oh, how
And
long have you guys been together?
so we started talking basically at the beginning of Corona.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you're quarantine bae.
yeah,
You guys are
exactly.
quarantine baes. Yeah.
My quarantine lover just turned
Yeah.
real serious. Yeah.
That's a good way
Um,
to get to know somebody in a short amount of time in
yeah,
quarantine.
it was really different, Sharon, because usually when you start chatting to someone, you're like chatting and you go for like one drink or something, and you meet the next week, and it kind of goes a bit slowly. Whereas in lockdown, there's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Now, I'm aware that I was breaking regulations, and maybe I'm going to get a bit of slack for this. Uh,
Uh-oh.
but we were not going to meet because Corona happened. We're like, I guess we'll like meet after this shit all dies down or whatever.
Yeah.
Then a few weeks later, it became very evident that it was going to be Corona was going to be around for ages.
Yeah.
So she was living basically by herself. We don't live with our parents or anything. So we were like, look, we've been isolating for weeks now, should we just meet? And then we did. I went to hers and we had a well nice time, and then we met the next week, and then that was 5 months ago, and
Wow.
it's been amazing. It's been amazing. I
Yeah.
love her.
That's
She's like,
awesome.
yeah,
So what
it's
have you
sick. It's sick.
learned from that experience?
What have I learned from the experience?
Or whether it's this relationship or a past one, maybe the one before, if there was a big lesson you learned from that one.
I've learned that I've learned that being selfish is not going to get you anywhere, and it's searching for and striving for something deeper can bring you far more reward than just kind of jumping from one thing to the other because it seems exciting. There's a lot of things that seem exciting on the surface.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm certainly not saying that my relationship is not exciting because it really is. But it's like before. I guess I've learned to put someone else before myself in my current relationship, and kind of I don't know. I've just learned to see a lot of things differently, and I've learned to truly love someone in a romantic sense. Whereas before that, I didn't really know that I was capable of loving someone like I love my girlfriend. So I guess I've learned that.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome. I love that. You're a romantic too. I can tell. All right. So question number 4. So you started making YouTube videos in 2010, right? And obviously you had the talent, but you also had a really savvy strategy of getting to the top, like a business strategy, right? So tell me about that, and then tell me what kind of strategies are you using nowadays to strategies to success.
Are you talking about my top secret spamming?
Yes.
How do you know about that?
Oh, I know. Don't you worry. A little birdie told me.
What the F? I can't remember telling anyone about that. So basically, right,
it wasn't so top secret after all, was it, Hobbie?
Yeah, it was not so top secret. It was actually mad smart, right? So what I did, so I was working in the call center. All my friends had gone to uni or whatever. So I was like, wow, what have I done? No disrespect to anyone working at call centers, of course, but like, it's just not where I wanted to be. And I should have been going to uni and going off with my friends or whatever. And I'd messed up at school. And I didn't really know what I was doing with my life. And then I just kind of realized that the only thing that I had ever truly tried hard at was music. So I was like, that's it. I'm going to be a fucking sick musician. So what I did was I decided to start doing covers on YouTube. And I had this big old plan. I hit up my boy. I was like, bro, can we do this thing, where we record songs and film videos and like get the 2 files and put them together? And he was like, yeah, man, I think that sounds cool. So anyway, the next weekend I was at his. I recorded Only Girl in the World. Nice little acoustic cover. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it was a nice little cover and good little chords that I made for it. And then a couple of days later, I posted it. I had quite a lot of friends throughout Brighton or whatever. So, it got some traction on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then I went to sleep or whatever. I woke up the next day and I had like 300 views or something. And I was like, right, this is not going to be enough Yeah, well, it was all right, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
You know, I was trying to be a pop star, so I was like, well, this is
Yeah.
fucking not enough at all.
You were expecting 300,000.
Yeah, because my naive thinking, Sharon, like saw some other covers on YouTube of the same song. I was like, well, these are fucking dead. Mine's
Yeah.
way better. So mine's going to get thousands of views, and then mine didn't. So I
Yeah.
was like, well, yeah, I'm going to have to put in a bit more time and effort into this, I
Mm.
guess. So then I devised a cunning strategy where I made 30 fake accounts.
Yeah.
And what I did is I commented from my main account. I commented on Rihanna Only Girl in the World official video. And I was like, hey guys, check out my cover of this song. I'm a British boy. And I just said that because people bare love British boys for some reason.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
especially
they
online.
do
You know what I
over
mean? Like
here.
Americans just love British boys.
Oh, they do.
So I was like, yeah, check me out. I'm a British boy. I've done a cover of the song. It would mean so much if you could, you know, check it out. And if you like it, come back and like this comment. And then I logged into like all my fake accounts. I had it all on copy and paste, all the same password and stuff. And I went and liked my comments. So then what happened is that went to the top comments on YouTube.
Oh,
And back then there was only two top comments.
okay.
So if you had one of those comments,
Yeah.
you would go on a video, and then basically anyone that went on a video, you give a little glance at the comments. My comment would be there.
Yeah.
And it would say something like, oh, check me out or whatever. And it would have bare likes. And then people would be like, all right, let's just check out this guy. And then they did check it out and they liked me, thankfully. So then what would happen is that they would come back to my comment and like it. So I ended up getting like 300 likes, and I would stay on the top comments for like 3 hours or something.
Wow.
So
That's so smart.
Do you know what, Sharon? It was pretty smart, actually. I'll always be proud of that.
It was.
But no one, obviously, it started becoming much more, you know, of a done thing to spam and leave comments or whatever. But no one really did exactly how I did it. So I was doing it before I went to the call center on my lunch break, after work, and it just started growing really quickly. And I would be at my call center on my BlackBerry just watching the notifications roll in, and I was just buzzing. It was great, and I put in a proper shift in that first 6 months until it kind of began to grow really organically.
Yeah.
And then I did some covers of like what was it? Adele, Rihanna Diamonds, and then they just blew up. And then I was able to stop, you know, having to do that spamming anymore. Thing. Yeah, exactly. Because you wouldn't be able to do that now. They've got certain things in place in there that wouldn't enable you to spam like that. I don't think.
Gotcha. So is there sort of a savvy strategy like that you're using in your life nowadays in any way, shape or form that you can tell us about that's not top secret?
No, but I think it's time to start devising a new one.
Okay.
Because Lord knows I have to beat these algorithms somehow.
Yeah.
And well, I'm going to be releasing an EP towards the end of the year. So
awesome.
It's something that I've realized over the last year or so, when I've released songs that I really love and believe in, that I do need to put more thought into PR, basically.
Yeah.
Because there's only so much that, obviously sometimes things go viral organically.
Yeah.
But often it just doesn't. And, you know, I believe in myself, and I believe in the songs that I've been making. So it's a good question, because I do have to start getting more savvy about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I will.
Yeah, I know you will. I know you're determined like that. Yeah. All right, good one. So question number 5, what's your greatest irrational fear?
My greatest irrational fear?
Yeah. Mine's spiders and cockroaches.
I do have a great irrational fear for cockroaches.
Oh, they're disgusting. You don't really see them in the
butters.
UK, but here,
you
massive.
Don't. Are they a lot in New York?
This big. Yes, and they'll just be...
that's so butters.
In the summertime, you're just walking along the street casually, having a good day, and then you'll see this massive cockroach just like crossing your path.
You don't need that. You don't need that.
No, life's difficult enough as it is.
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't think I really have any irrational fears. Lately, this isn't very funny. It's actually a little bit worrying. But lately, I keep waking up in the night really scared of nothing. Like I
Really?
jump proper. Yeah. I forget about it. My girlfriend tells me, but
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
keep having these scares in the night. It's quite bizarre,
Is
actually. I
it
have
something to do with a dream? Is it what you're dreaming and that's
I
what's waking you up, or?
No, oh no, this is what happens.
Yeah,
Sometimes I wake up, although it hasn't happened for a few weeks, and I have no idea where I am
yeah,
for a couple of seconds.
yeah.
And yeah, I'll just have these midnight frights, and which is quite strange because my mum gets them, and
Mm.
I notice it. You know, when I go away with my mum, I've been there when she's had these frights, and I've always thought it was bare weird. And then I recently started getting them. I don't know, in the last few months, which is quite strange. So. Yeah, I mean, it's not on. That's not an answer to your question. It just came to mind
No, no,
from.
that's
Yeah,
that's
it's quite. Yeah,
scary.
it's quite spooky. It is quite scary. It is quite scary,
It
actually.
is because
Yeah,
I feel like that's sort of when you're most vulnerable when you're sleeping,
yeah,
right? And then so to wake up like with a start. I mean, it's happened to
yeah,
me. I've experienced it. I don't experience it on a regular basis, but yeah, you should talk to somebody about that.
yeah. That's what my girlfriend said.
Yeah.
And we actually spoke about it today. I am gonna look at getting like talking to someone seriously about
Yeah,
my
because
sleep
there's
and
maybe
getting
something
some.
you can do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's just my sleep is a problem in itself.
yeah.
Chris Crimson said he's scared of waffles. Something about waffles, I just don't trust him. Oh,
They're delicious though with maple syrup. I just want to say hi to my friend Fiona as well. She's my bestie, Fiona Bloom.
Fiona,
Is,
where's she? Friend from where?
so she's from the UK, but she lives in America, and I used
Okay.
to intern for her. So she hired me. I moved
Oh,
to
really?
America to try to get into the music business on the business side of things, right? I wanted to
Okay,
run my
okay.
own record label one day.
Oh,
And
wow.
I interned for her record label that she was running, and then I was her assistant for a while. Now we're like besties.
Oh, cool.
So hey Fee, and she's like amazing at supporting, and she's a great publicist, by the way. You were talking about PR,
Oh,
so
right.
maybe I'll
Oh,
hook you
sick.
guys up
That
after
would be
the
great.
fact.
Where
Yeah.
did you grow up, Sharon?
So
In
I grew
England?
up in Watford,
Ah, Watty. Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
Guildford. So
Ah,
Watford
Guildford.
till I was
Okay.
11, Guildford after that,
Ah,
and then my
okay.
brother and sister are still in Guildford.
Guildford in
So
Surrey.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Exactly. Yep, yep, yep. All right. So question number 6. So this is really interesting. You talked on IG recently about how so much on social media is really smoke and mirrors, right? And
Yeah,
here
yeah.
we are, like a lot of us just feeling crap sometimes, like, oh, everyone else is having a way better time
Yeah.
than us, and their life's more exciting, their boyfriend or girlfriend is like nicer to them, whatever it is.
hmm
But it's all smoke and mirrors, or most of it is. Tell me your thoughts on that.
I mean, it's I just think there's so many issues with that arise within people on a personal level in terms of their confidence and anxiety, but also kind of interpersonal in terms of relationships as well that can arise from in Instagram and problems with just watching everyone all the time
Yeah.
and seeing what everyone's doing all the time, which is such a strange thing. And we as people have never had to deal with that up
Mm.
until like I don't know whenever Instagram boomed. Basically, I don't know when that was. Maybe 6 7 years ago. I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's kind
Like
of like
2013, around
yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, around that time. And then it's kind of just every year it kind of gets more and more amplified because more people are on it. We're on it more, and there's just so many things that are so accessible, and there's more like different things like uh, TikTok's coming in, and
Mm.
it's just such a dangerous thing because a lot of people don't realize how addicted they are, and I'm certainly addicted to everything, just like anyone else. But I'm aware of it, but it doesn't help it. It doesn't help me. I'm still on them looking at shit for no fucking reason,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it can really just make your day worse when for whatever reason we go through moods, right? Sometimes we're
Mm.
in a good mood, sometimes in a bad mood, and sometimes you don't really know why you're in those moods. And then you look on Instagram and you see something and you see someone looking great or you see someone like looking better, happy or whatever, and it can just
Mm.
make you feel just even worse about yourself and
Mm.
your I don't know, it can really interfere with how you look at your future and your past and
Yeah,
what you're doing at the moment. And it's such a and so many people just I think they just don't even realize how much it can affect their mood.
yeah, yeah.
And
Because we
And it's
constantly
just,
compare ourselves at the end of the day.
yeah,
But what's interesting is as well, I was talking to my sister about this because she was saying that she wishes people would be much more real on social media. And some people are, but at the same time, like if you just talk about how real your day was and all the bad stuff that happened, people aren't necessarily going to like that, and they don't necessarily want to see that all the
yeah,
time. So it's difficult finding that balance. Like you want to be
it is.
authentic, but you also
Yeah,
want
exactly.
to, you know, put your best foot forward on
Yeah,
social media, right? Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And uh, I mean, I realized lately that I am potentially part of the problem as well, because I certainly don't, you know, I'm not having the sickest life ever. But if you go on my Instagram, it's only just pictures of me on holiday and just looking cool. You know what I mean? Just like just looking chilled or whatever, just like I'm the fucking happiest
Like
dude
best
ever. And
life
some,
ever.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And the reality is like I'm just like not rich in the slightest. I'm like I don't know. I do go on some holidays, whatever, but
Yeah.
the reality is I'm still anxious about my future like everyone else, and I
Yeah.
just sometimes I'm happy, sometimes I'm not. But
Yeah.
this is a problem. So many and a lot of influencers, I don't really think they're mindful of that either. Just in the
Yeah.
same way that I wasn't. Like they just kind of they want to post pictures, and also I think what also then goes back to the problem with the algorithm is that then influencers they feel like they can only post pictures of themselves looking good because
Yeah.
that's what's going to get the most engagement.
The more skin
So
you show, like
yeah,
the
exactly. So it's
more,
kind of
yeah.
yeah, and you know often. And what people don't realize as well is that a lot of these influencers and models on Instagram, they can be really insecure as well, and that they're posting these pictures because it makes themselves feel better. Apart from the you know, it's their job as
Yeah.
well. But
Yeah.
you know, they have people have no idea that an influencer might post a picture of themselves in a bikini looking fucking really cool, and
Yeah.
half an hour later, be crying because they're just not very happy with themselves
Yeah. Yeah.
for whatever reasons,
Yeah.
and it's just a dangerous thing, and
Yeah.
yeah, so and you know
And my cat is like up here and about to knock everything down. I've got two cats.
what's your cat's name?
So I've got Chewy and Toffee. They're Bengal cats. So they here's Chewy.
Chewy.
So this is Chewy, yeah.
Oh, that's a nice cat.
Thanks. And
Hey, he
Toffee
looks like
is,
his fur's like a leopard.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
He's a Bengal, yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Oh,
He's
okay.
cool. But yeah, I think, you know, people like yourself kind of drawing attention to that is really, really powerful. The fact that, okay, even you feel crap sometimes.
Yeah,
And
everyone
yeah,
does it. Yeah, and the issue is that people can look at. I mean, you know, there's certainly people much more famous and much more like uh with a bigger presence online and post more, and it goes the same goes for them as well. They're not as happy as their Instagrams make them out to be.
nobody is ever
No,
happy
nobody
all
is.
across the board. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's I don't know. I certainly don't have the answer for anything because I'm a slave to Instagram like everyone else, and I use it to make money. But
We
it's
all
just I
are.
think that people need to just make sure they're mindful that
Yeah.
when they feel themselves getting into this mood that Instagram might draw them to, you just got to think like it's everyone's got their own fucking issues, and you can't take
Yeah.
in something like Instagram too seriously, and you just need to use it for what good it can bring to your life. Like just be able to see what your mates are doing, and just seeing some nice pictures and kind of leave it at that.
Absolutely. No,
Mm.
great advice. Really good
Mm.
advice. So the next three questions, because Instagram like cuts you off after an hour, right? So we've got 15 minutes. So I'll just have
Okay.
to watch the time on that because I want to make sure we get them all in. But question 8. So you were on the X Factor, right? And you killed it. You slayed in the auditions. You decided to drop out of the X Factor. And I think this is a really inspirational story as well. You just decided it wasn't for you. Like as much of an opportunity as it was, you were like, no, it's not for me. It doesn't feel right. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I I I decided to accept the invitation to go on the X Factor after things had gone wrong with my label
Mm-hmm.
because basically the people that signed me to my label they left, and I was kind of in no man's land. Well, in a big old major label. So I managed to leave, and then I was in a bit of a weird place. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to go on X Factor and see what happens. And it turns out that I really, really didn't enjoy my day on there, because that's all it was. I just went for the day, did my audition, and I realized that the show wasn't right for me just as much as I wasn't right for the show, because I already had a career, whereas some of the people, you know, the contestants that were around me, they were auditioning, and it was the most exciting thing to ever happen to them, because, you know, it might be someone in a
Yeah.
pretty standard job and they like singing or whatever, and they go into the X Factor and it's all really new and shiny and amazing, and it can potentially open the door for them to have a completely different life to, you know, what was going on for them before the X Factor. Whereas for me, it was a little bit different. You know, whilst I was waiting for my audition, I'd walk around the auditorium and just bump into some people that knew me from YouTube or whatever and ask me for a picture or something.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't know why I'm really here. Not that I was an established artist by any means, but
Yeah.
it wasn't exciting for me like it should have been.
Yeah.
And therefore I couldn't truly give myself to the show and, you know, cry on camera like they wanted me to, and like,
Yeah.
you know, just plead to let them go through, or, you know, say that this is the biggest moment of my life, whatever, when
Yeah.
really I just didn't really like it. It all seemed quite contrived, and
Yeah.
it's as much of a soap opera as it is a talent show, which is, you know, which is understandable because it is a TV show at the end of the day. And I just didn't want to be a part of that, and I didn't want to be used as a little pawn in their kind of their grand narrative.
Yeah.
I
Because it is
felt that
reality TV after all.
yeah,
It's
yeah, of
reality
course.
TV. Yeah.
Of course, and I really liked everyone that I met on that show, and, you know, it could have been great for me, and, you know, if I had stayed on it, I think I would have done well, and, you know, life, it would, you know, who knows what, you know, there's so many bloody parallel universes, things
Yeah.
would be a lot different, but I'm very thankful that I took the decision that I did, because
Yeah.
it just wasn't me, and I would be sacrificing my integrity and just ultimately just doing something that made me feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And if something makes you feel really uncomfortable, you just shouldn't really do it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is why people say you're so genuine and authentic. But you were saying you liked everyone you met. They liked you too, especially Rita Ora. For those that don't know, did she really say to you that you guys could be soulmates? And Rita is a judge, or was a judge on the UK version for the Americans who are watching.
Mate, do you know what? With Rita, it was kind of weird because I rolled on stage,
Yeah.
so I got to the X Factor at 8 in the morning, and my audition wasn't until half midnight.
Oh, wow.
Right, so we were just
Oh my
hanging around
gosh.
all day doing stupid little feature things, and I just wasn't really happy with how the day went. For example, in my feature interview, a geezer's asking you some questions, you're putting the questions in the answers. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah, yeah.
and then they know everything that there is to know about you. So then the guy was like, "Oh, Hobbie, your family are in Brazil, and your dad lives there. How old were you when he moved back? And how did that feel? And is he going to be proud watching you?" And there's me, fucking naive idiot, and I'm like, "Yeah, I was 6 years old when my dad moved back to Brazil, and it was a really sad day, but he's going to be really proud of me watching." And then all of a sudden, I'm like, "Oh my God, they've just given me a sob story out of nowhere." And I'm just like, that's just going to look stupid.
Yeah,
Like me, like looking like I'm trying to get people to feel sorry for me because my dad
yeah,
moved to Brazil when I was 6. It's like,
yeah,
that's not a sob story. That's just like something that happened. And
yeah.
it's been fine. I've seen my dad twice a year. It's given me a whole different, you know what I mean? It's not a sob story at all,
Yeah, yeah,
but they'll edit it and put some stupid sad music over the top and make it look like
yeah.
I'm kind of coming out of
Everyone's
it,
at
you know what
home
I mean? So
crying.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just dumb, and I really hated that. So I was already a bit like feeling a bit weird, and I was like, I don't think I want to do this. Anyway,
Yeah.
I had to wait all day for my audition. I went out in front of the celeb judges. Half of the people had gone because it was so late. And I walk on, and Rita's like, "Hello, handsome," and I'm like, "Hi." And she's like, "What's your name? Where are you from? How old are you?" I was like, "Oh, my name's Hobbie. I'm 25 or whatever I was.
Yeah.
25 from Brighton." She's like, "Oh my God, I'm 25 too. When's your birthday?" I was like, 26th of December. She's like, "Oh my God, no way, me too." And I was like, I was like, wait, I swear Rita Ora's birthday isn't fucking Boxing Day. I would know because, you know, I looked up before, like, what celebs
To
I share
see
my
who
birthday with or
shares the
whatever.
birthday, yeah.
So I was like, oh, really? And she was like, well, no, I'm 26th of November, but you know, I'm Sagittarius as well. And I was like, oh, I'm Capricorn. And it was like a bit kind of awkward, and the people in the crowd kind of laughed. And then I was like, mate, why is like Rita Ora flirting with me and just failing? This is so weird. And then it kind of just got like, and that was that really. I think that's basically all she said.
Okay.
Maybe she did say something about soulmates. But then, like, I was just like, yeah, but I'm Capricorn, and then that kind of deaded it. And then it just, like, we just moved on swiftly.
That showed that you weren't interested because you're a different zodiac
Yeah,
sign.
so
Maybe
basically, I'm so cool. Like, Rita Ora tried it with me, and I parred her off. So yeah, basically, that's what happened.
Yeah. She didn't slide in the DMs after that.
No, mate. She didn't actually like want me or anything at all. It was just that was her role, I think, for that year. Was she was the flirty one that liked to have some boys or whatever. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
I think she flirted with everyone on there. It was nothing.
Okay. You weren't that special.
No, I wasn't that special. Definitely not that special.
No, I'm sure you were. All right, so we've got 2 questions left. We've got like 9 minutes before they're going to cut us off. So question number 9, and we can get through this one sort of quickly, I guess. I'm going to list several things, and you have to tell me whether you think they're real or not, and then give me a brief explanation as to why.
Ghosts. My low battery notification came up. So you're going to say some things, and I tell you
So I'm
whether it's real.
going to give you a list of things, and you have to tell me whether they're real or not.
Okay.
So ghosts.
I mean, I think I did see a ghost once.
Do you?
Yeah, my uncle in Italy. Well, my great uncle who passed a few years ago, sadly. He actually went on TV, but seeing a ghost. Mad. It was crazy. So I'm going to say real.
Okay.
Even though I don't actually think they're real. So I'm going to say not real.
No, you say not real then. You go not real on that one.
Yeah, I'll go with not real. Yeah.
Okay, so what about this one? Aliens?
Yeah, 100% real.
You think that, yeah.
Mate, like the universe, and in fact, the universe is so infinitely big. There's got to be something out there. And the definition of aliens is a living being outside of Earth, in it. So I reckon there's something going on out there.
Yeah.
Whether it's whether it's like a weird little microorganism or something, there's something going on.
Yeah.
So I'll say
and you know, in the US, the government's saying they're going to be more transparent about UFO sightings now.
Is it?
So yeah, it looks like they might be ready to release some information soon.
Oh,
so, that should be interesting. Okay, heaven.
No.
Okay. Hell?
I don't believe. No, I don't think so.
Okay. Soulmates. Speaking of Rita Ora and what she might possibly say. Is there such thing as that your soulmate? You're like, does everyone have a soulmate out there somewhere?
Does soulmate mean just one person?
Yeah.
Out there for you?
Oh, yeah. Because
there are many times when I feel like my girlfriend is my soulmate.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say yeah.
So so aliens and soulmates, yes. Ghosts in heaven, no. And the cat's coming back. Chewie, don't. No, sorry.
No, do you know the thing about heaven and hell is like who can decide what's so good and what's bad? You know what I mean? I just think that there are so many reasons that people do what they do. Yeah. And a lot of the time it's not because they're good or they're evil.
Sometimes it's a grey area.
Exactly. Right. And people do things, like, I don't know, a murderer because he had a horrible childhood and he was, went through horrible things. So I just don't think it's fair to, someone lives their life and someone just decides whether they deserve to go to hell or heaven. Yeah. So that's what I think about that. And then, and what would we last say? Yeah, soulmate. So I said yes to that.
Yeah, you said no to ghosts and aliens you believe in.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've almost made it to the end of the 10 and 10 challenge. The last question is, what are your biggest goals and dreams for 2021? Because 2020 is a bit of a write-off for almost everybody. But what are your biggest goals and dreams like for next year?
My goals and dreams.
Well, you are releasing an EP later this year, so it's not a write-off.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. I've still got some. I've got hopes for this year in a way that I want you know, my EP to be, you know, do get heard by a lot of people and be liked and appreciated and loved, hopefully. And then the next year, my goal is to just go back on tour and just be able to increase my audience for people listening to my music. Because ultimately, my dream is just to have something that I make be appreciated and to just have some kind of impact on people's lives, which is, I think, the best thing about being an artist is, you know, when I get messages like, you know, hobby or music has helped me through a lot, for hard times or whatever. And I think that's just something that's really special. And I just kind of want to be able to do that on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
So that's my, you know, that's my general goal for next year. And another goal would be to travel a bit more, see a few new places, hoping that, you know, the corona situation would be a bit better next year, so that can happen, and just continue to be a good friend and a good son to my mum and my father and a good boyfriend.
You're a good man. You're a good man, Hobbie. All good stuff. You know, I forgot to ask you one question that was in here. I'll ask you really quickly. So your latest song is Having My Child, right? Is that related to the situation? You were very open about it. You went on YouTube, you talked about how, and you mentioned it earlier, you had a one-night stand with somebody who for the next 9 months convinced you that she was about to have twins. And then you found out it was all fake.
Yeah.
Have you spoken to this girl since then? And what would you say you learned from that? And is the song related?
The song is entirely related, yeah. There's several songs that I've written about that, and some that are going to be released soon as well. No, I haven't spoken to her since. I think that from what I can see, because I've, you know, people have sent me a couple of things from her Instagram or whatever. She hasn't really changed her ways in terms of seemingly just living her life on Instagram and just making up some mad shit. I don't know. Yeah. But I haven't spoken to her at all. But you know, which is fine. I don't feel anything when I think about that situation. And certainly I don't feel any resentment or anything negative towards her. She's just did what she did because she is mentally ill. And I don't mean, you know, I'm not trying to diagnose anyone. I'm not a doctor, but that's just what I think / you know. And I just fucking wish her the best and hope that she can be truly happy and actually get better.
Yeah.
That's it really. I don't really, to be honest, I rarely think about that these days. And when I do, thankfully, I don't feel anything.
Yeah.
Because it was just something that happened a while back. And your other question was what I learned from that experience.
Yeah. Did you change from that, or?
It certainly made me more careful as to who I sleep with.
Yeah.
And then it taught me that I was very proud of myself in terms of how I acted throughout that whole situation. And in the end, that got me through it on the other side, pretty much unscathed emotionally and mentally. And that's all I really learned, is that I just need to keep doing what I think is the right thing. And that's all I did throughout that situation. Yeah. And, I just learned to not, have as many one-night stands.
Yeah, good lesson to be learned, I think. Yeah. All right, I think they are going to cut us off in a minute. Where can we find you, Hobbie? We should be looking out for the EP. What else do you want to say? Last words. You're awesome, by the way.
Oh, thanks so much for having me, Sharon. It's been a real pleasure.
Oh, it's been I think
that you're so good at what you do, and it's it's really good to follow you and see you doing loads of cool shit.
Thank you.
And I hope we can chat again soon.
I hope so. We'll bring you back on for sure.
That would be great. And where can you find me? I guess just youtube.com/Hobbie Stuart Music. There's going to be some more things. There's going to be more content getting put on there. So when you subscribe, make sure to hit that fucking notification button. Otherwise, you might not see it. It's super annoying.
Because we know what YouTube's doing these days. We talk about all
that's
that.
It.
Also, I will be looking out for the EP as well.
Great. Yeah, and the EP. I'll post that everywhere on all my socials. So yeah, if you follow me on socials, you'll hopefully see it.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. You're super talented. Wishing you all the best. And of course, you know, we'll be in touch anyway, and I'll be following everything you're doing on social media and YouTube.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sharon.
Hobbie, thank you so much, and congrats for passing the 10 in 10 challenge.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Guys, everyone, thank you all for watching as well. Go follow Hobbie if you're not already, and show him some love on YouTube.
Shout out Lily, Annie, Jemmy, I am Loic, Kenan, Noelia, Tyra, Carmen, all you guys. Thank you for watching. I love you all a lot. My Lydia's watching as well. Shout out to Lydia and the girls, Harriet, Molly.
Shout out to Carl, by the way, for recording this for me. He records all my. He's amazing. He records all my Instagram lives and then sends them to me.
So it's
like, just in case.
Are you going to put it on your IGTV?
Yeah, it's going to be on IGTV. So
cool.
it might save. Sometimes it doesn't save, and then he'll send it to me. So it's always good to have a backup with someone. Recording it for you.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. All right, Hobbie, we'll be in touch soon. All right, and I'll put you in touch with Fiona. All right, have a good one, and bye, everybody. Happy Saturday night. Bye, guys.